Okay, welcome on back, everybody. So before we get started, I'm gonna have to do some troubleshooting. Whoops. Troubleshooting with my controllers. So I do have two PS5 controllers, right? Now one just hasn't worked this whole time, and I got to figure that out. And remember, I work in IT, so this is why it's that much more concerning. I haven't contacted PlayStation. I've been trying to self-help and do as much as I can, but then also like with as little time as I dedicate to this, because I do IT all day. I'm not trying to do it at home. But however, I did take off a few days to do exactly that. So I'm going to try to figure out my Minecraft thing. I got too many Microsoft accounts. I'm locked out of one, and and I know like there are ways to recover exactly what I get and also ways to discover if people are trying to steal it, because then they check the logs like, oh wait, this other person started using your account, and then they have your IP, they have your information about you, and they have usage history. So that's why more people are realizing that everything's a honeypot. Everything is, there's records, there's logs, there's, unless you're in there deleting them, but then there's evidence of you deleting logs, so then you're caught that way. And that's even more like actual like federal offenses and stuff if you start doing cybercrime. So, and again, or something. Sorry, not again. I wanted to address this too. The last video I was saying some stuff. I don't do anything illegal. Just by the way, I mean everything I do is in white hat status. I do research projects to try to protect people. I try to educate people on how to protect themselves. And actually, my job is to educate over 500 people every semester on security. Now, granted, it's a side part of the job, but it's really cool. So every semester, that I'm doing what I'm doing, there's over 500 more people that are going to be more secure, more, and not just me too. Like it's really just setting up multi-factor authentication. And there, now you've said it or you've heard it. So as these videos get more popular, more people will set up multi-factor authentication, and that's why I'm in these predicaments, is because I set up too much security, and so that's what a lot of people are running into, and so that's why I'm trying to figure out a way to do some live streaming where I'll just play games that people can come and ask questions. I haven't figured out a good time because I want to make it a semi-regular schedule, like maybe Sunday afternoons or something, because that's when like I don't, again, open source intelligence and all that. But when you're a streamer, you have a regular schedule, and most streamers have a day job or a night job or a job outside of it, and they got to sleep. So it's like I don't know, but one day a week, maybe an hour, I might do that. But anyways, let's get back to Karima. But the tech thing. So and also headphones. I think this controller is breaking down. So I need to like send in my other controller, see what they can do to fix it. And I don't have the receipt. I know where I got it from, and I could track it. But then it's like, but I also bought other stuff. So at a Walmart. So it's like, so they'll work with you, but they got to figure out and make sure that you're not fraudulent. And once they've verified to their standards or whatever makes them feel good or acceptable, then they can help you. But really, up until that point, and I had a similar situation. I had dead credit cards on my PlayStation account just because I was so not lazy, but just so busy doing life and other things, having kids, having work, trying to find work. COVID was rough on a lot of people. So, anyways, my point is, if I'm having this much trouble, I can only imagine someone who doesn't have a degree in tech and what trouble they could be having. So there's that. Thankfully, there's a whole army of people that also sympathize with this. It's called YouTube and Twitch. They have science and technology as a Twitch thing. And I'll bet you, if you go into almost any of those things and say, hey, well, okay, maybe not a lot. You got to be careful with that, because then it's like, and see, all it takes is one grumpy person to just give you a bad time. Then you're like, well, I don't want to ask for help. Like, ugh, that's. I also help a lot of people from like the older generations, and I feel so bad for them because they've been just mistreated by we disrespect our elders, and that's why I admire some Asian cultures. See, because they are able to honor their elders and stuff. But then it's trade-offs. Like in America, we're go go go, compete compete compete, and we've got all this really cool stuff, and like the sky's the limit for that. But we're slowly realizing we're like, hey, we need to slow down a little bit with some of this stuff. We need to start taking care of what's important, taking care of our elderly, taking care of our poorer people, which is starting to encompass a larger group of people. I mean, the poor, the lower middle class, like I would consider myself that growing up, but even by today's standards, I don't know. It's getting better though, because like I said, I've got my own gaming system and everything, and I've only just started being back in a comfortable position. work-wise. And I only graduated, what, like less than a decade ago, so this is all still pretty new. But so other people out there, as long as you have a tech degree, that's fine. But what about the people that don't have a tech degree? Well, that's where we got to figure out other things. So, and I know I could be the non-tech degree person pretty quick, so that could also include me. And I guess that's a big thing, is like, once people realize that we're all in this together, and it's easier said than understood, then they're starting like, okay, it's all hands on deck. Like, we got to fix things. And so, anyways, back to Karima.
If we are to shake off Hyperion control, the town will need a shield-like sanctuaries to protect it from moonshot blitzes. If you could donate some shields to the town, I could scavenge them and build us a shield.
So you're literally like fighting a tyrannical, all sorts of things. Alright, so wait. We need to drop shields and grinders. So this is where, yeah. So we are going to invest. But yeah, for our 32,000, for, you know, like, we're going to buy these three. And they purposely do that. I mean, you have to get 5 shields, but you only have, I mean, if you're carrying around some, cool. 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm okay with donating even the one that I have, but
Shields you no longer want into the grinder.
oops, no. Trying to drop it like in Fortnite. Ah. This is horrible. Are you kidding me?
Old administrator died and left me in charge.
Yep, and see, that's the other thing. If we were on Mars and we only had so many people, well, people might find themselves in other job positions.
Feedback is appreciated, David.
And that's like, ugh. Having HR is a really big deal too, because it's like, you know, you got to deal with people, not necessarily broken people, but people that just need some help. So. Alright, and also we're going to have to go get another one anyway, because this is only the 4. I just wanted to make sure we got all the dialogue. Okay. Now we gotta go find a shield. We could get 2 problems, 1 solution, though. And see, that's one thing. Because, I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone, that is kind of barbaric and outlandish. Like, we're not out there killing birds, like, out of necessity. So if we're out there killing birds, it's probably out of, like, some form of entertainment. And yes, we do have sick, kind of weird, like, curiosity. I don't know, like the Coliseum, that's the biggest one that I like to point out. Is like, you know, how do you explain the Coliseum? Like, we literally watch people kill each other for entertainment because we didn't know that better things existed to manipulate those chemicals in our brains, which it is a reward system of chemicals that get released in your brain for physical exercise. That's why working out is always such a good thing. Oh, that's another mission that I don't want to step on that mission's toes. I was going to, but oh, there's a shield thing in the bar, in the tavern, which is a whole industry out of necessity for the human condition of trying to cope with how messed up the world is. Well, we're fixing it. And alcohol, it's still good, I mean, fun for celebrations and stuff. I don't mean to sound like that. It's just, I've already enjoyed enough of it. I know what it is, and there's better out there. Ah, but the Holy Spirits. Aye, boy. What am I looking for? The baño, the bathroom. I don't think this is the bathroom. Yep, that's the... Let's go loot it, though. Again, I would not be doing any of this in the real world. In fact, the people that do this, I think, like... I want to say there's some areas where you still get your hand cut off for being a major drug dealer or some major offenses, but I want to say even if you were caught stealing back in the day, like, they could cut off your hand, depending on how serious it was. You know, just kind of reminded you every day. It's a reminder that, like, oh, you stole and you made someone's life harder. no matter what you thought about it, whatever motive pushed you to do it, because that's yeah. Imagine being AOC and hanging out with all these people. Hiyo, that's Steve.
Hello.
Heyo.
Jack's mask is actually the door to a tiny vault that you can enter like a portal.
Nice, because Jack has a mask. He's handsome Jack, but he's got a mask.
A vault hunter? And they say I'm insane.
And that's what it feels like when people find out I'm a cybersecurity professional or a computer scientist. Like, oh my gosh, it's something special. No, I just spent a lot of time banging my head against the wall fixing problems. I'm about to do it with my own stuff. Whee! And I think you get money, don't you? Yeah, spin the bear, spin the bear. And then see, you have to have an incentive to do it. But I mean, out of curiosity, oh, that poor bear might be getting sick. Okay. I don't know. I mean,
Hello. Jack's mask is there to cover some horrible disfiguring scar, like an acid burn. What's up, new best friend?
yeah, these are like the 4 horsemen of alcoholism at the bars.
This will make me whole.
Oh wow.
Hello.
Heyo.
Personally, I don't buy Jack's mask. The face stapling thing he's got is super unrealistic. There's just no way his facial skin would stay attached if it was just stapled in a few places and shrinking in other places. A guy's face would rot away, and he would die from a septic shock.
Church.
You look like Andy.
Oh good lord.
Man, you smell good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Heyo.
Jack's mask is actually the door to a tiny vault that you can enter like a portal.
Up top.
What? You gonna make fun of me like the others?
Oh, and see, that's why you gotta be careful with what you say about people. Alright, sorry, let's get the shield and let's get going. Also there's Jimmy Jenkins, who's lost. Little Easter egg. Oh, wait. Jenkins! But it's spelled with leet speak. E is a 3 and S is a 5. Anyways. That's not sneaky, by the way, anyone who tries to do that. It's pretty easy to catch on that. Oh, so now it doesn't matter what shield, so let's definitely go cheapest. Because it's just going to get grinded up into... Alright. Yeah, I've spent many a day or many a night in bars. Well, day, when you're working night shift, you have to go to the bar during the day. And then people start judging you like, oh my gosh, they're drinking during the day. Well, it's not like the Homer Simpson times. Or maybe it is. Actually, now that I think about it, like, you know, what if Homer was... Well, no, Homer was just drinking more than he should have. And it wasn't just Homer. It's a lot of Americans. And why? Because we have such horrible wealth inequality because of Hollywood. Hollywood and the stock market are literally the 2 points of the wealth inequality. Now, granted, it trickles down and it makes the rest of the country great, but there's friction from the classes as that trickle down gets trickled. And again, problems that people that don't have to worry about money didn't have. Now, you know, anyways. Back to the game.
Yes, just like that. A few more shields and I'll be able to build us a defense shield out of the parts. I was a computer engineer before Overlook's old administrator died and left me in charge.
Karima, you can't make us no techie shieldy thing. You's a woman. Now, if the town needs someone to make us a big old sandwich, then we call you.
Wishes to
Your
remind
feedback is appreciated, David.
It's worth listening to twice because we have a huge problem with womanizing in this country. I mean, other people think like, oh yeah, you know, America, the land of the freedom. No, they're pieces of meat. And there's a campaign that I think it's Miller, I don't know, or Budweiser maybe. It's recycle the S word. So I know we're playing a mature video game, but anyways, take out and then they bleep it in the ads, and it's like take out the old bleep and then put in the new bleep, and it's like over and over. It's hilarious, and they're taking down all the bikini models and all the stuff that basically sold alcohol to men because men were the breadwinners. Men were the only ones that could be computer engineers or whatever. STEM. Like I'm a big advocate for women in STEM, and Moxie, the woman spitting on my gun, that yeah. She is beautiful. She's amazing, but she's in control of what she does. She's, that's for her to decide. But it is beautiful that she is. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, I feel like we're heading to that point. Same with guys. Like, guys are on display too nowadays. Like, and I go work out. Like,
Grinder will only be used for egregious felonies, like littering
And profanity is verbal littering, they used to say. Anyways, my point being is that she being a computer engineer is beautiful. Him being a prick is also not so beautiful. Oh, which just makes it the friction and the plot thickens. So without the friction, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the story. So for a small fraction, we thank the devil.
Y'all's just gonna blow yourselves up. Better quit now.
Thank you for your input, Dave.
Okay. The shield tech is assembled. Now to test it. Ooh. Yes.
Overlook residents.
Overlook is nearly safe. And by the way, we're getting paid doing all these things. They're giving us these weapons and shields and money, and like they can't even leave their houses. Like, just kind of think about all that. Like, ugh.
Overlook's shield is finished, and I would very much like your help testing it. Head to the Hyperion outpost nearby and get to the mortar cannon on the launch pad.
And notice she's looking better.
What's even better than having a working shield? Not being a woman.
Oh my god, shut up, Dave.
Yep. Yep, equality, not just for men and women and everything in between, everyone in between. Sorry, not thing, like just, whatever you want to identify as. That's your right. And a lot of my friends, like the more Republican-leaning MAGA friends, like, they agree with that too. Like, I mean, they don't like the pronouns because they don't want to have to use more things. They don't want to have to learn something new. But, like, once they realize how much easier it is, like, oh, that's all it is? All right, whatever, like, that's fine. It's this misunderstanding, this poor communication is like a lot of these issues. I mean, and same with the other side too. Like, I mean, people that like to use pronouns or prefer pronouns and to have to deal with people not doing that, then it's like, for me, I'm still bad at it. I did a word slip up the other day just because of just my nature. I'm absent-minded, and sometimes things come out without a filter. Like, oh, like, whoops. Like, I've watched a lot of funny videos. All right, now. This is a horrible idea. This thing. And then you. Basically, we have to do this again. And I think that's why I usually don't come through this way the first time around, because I'm like, man, I already did that. Like, So, I think probably the very first time I played this game, I did exactly that. I was like, oh, what's in here? Or no, I think I did that, and then I totally got destroyed. And then I went around. I'm like, nope, avoiding that, because I saw there was another way to get to Overlook. Okay, but we are getting some good experience.
Goodness.
Getting some dialogue. Alright. It'd be nice to not use, let's see. There we go. Much better. I wonder if it works for this too. Oh yeah, I've got so many tech projects I need to do. I need to offload all my pictures from my phone. I need to, make some enhancements to my network security, like, go through some logs that I've been meaning to go through, like, maybe detect some hidden visitors. But again, they're probably not hidden from the US government, so... I'm just kidding. Please don't do any of that shenanigery. Oh, that's why we gotta de-escalate and figure out the whole... that's another thing. We can get to that here soon, but... it's even harder because that goes back with people going back on treaties for, like, decades, if not centuries. What would be the best way to... This'll work. It's like the Joker. Oh, I might die. Yep. That's okay. Oh, I might be dead. Might be done for. Then I hear another one flying around. Oh, it's combat engineer. The other cool thing about the ability is you heal when you kill somebody, so if you're ever in a pinch, you can just be like, oh, I'm gonna, Actually, you know what? Burn, baby, burn. One for humans, one for, oh, not that one. Because fire is super effective against flesh, including my own. Okay. Should probably re-up on some ammo. Alright. Just a little bit. Get some loot. Oh, super great loot. Alright. Yeah, the whole global struggle problem. Yeah, that's gonna take some major fixing.
Moron up by the cannon.
Please ignore Dave and aim the cannon 55 degrees port bound, 86 degrees skyloft. We'll need Overlook to sustain a direct hit from the mortar to test the shield.
Okay. So deploy. Deploy the cannon. Okay, now we need to adjust aim mortar. Notice how she gave the precise degrees and everything. Like, she's working hard, making these calculations behind the scene.
Fire the cannon.
Oh, Karima.
Karima, don't feel bad. Jack is your husband to the grinder. Well, I'll bet you if you asked nicely.
Now, let's try that with the shield on.
Bada bing. The squeaky wheel gets the grease until the wheel gets replaced. It's a sad thing, but, you know, it's...
Please fire the cannon again.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it was still moving. And you can see the Hyperion thing. Ah, I love this game.
Most efficient. The shield works. Overlook is safe and... no Dave. This is truly a happy day. Return to me at your earliest convenience.
Oh, and unfortunately there's probably some underlying issues to make Dave act like the way he was, but the point is don't be a Dave. Oh, I almost forgot. There is... oh, I think it might actually be behind here. No, I don't think this is it. Behind one of these parts, there's a loot cache. I think we have to go up onto that bridge. Oh, back there. Yeah, I think it's back behind that thing. Because we saw it coming in, and we shot the box, and it disabled it, but that was a couple videos ago. And since then, like, I had a whole weekend or what have you with the kiddos just playing, and a lot of Fortnite, a lot of Among Us. We actually played with Sundee, one of the YouTubers that does the Among Us. But I don't know. I didn't want to be all weird, be like, oh hey, you know, my kids, blah blah blah. But anyways, I did comment on one of his videos, like, hey, my kid's playing with you right now. Sorry, not trying to be weird. Like, okay. So as long as you kill them quickly enough. Oh, they're on fire! What? Oh, that is so cool. And I'm still not, like, burn damage doesn't affect me. Like, I'm on fire now. It's fine, like, it's not that big of a deal. I thought it was gonna be a way worse. This is fine, like that meme on the Fortnites. This is fine. Alright, now this. Also, let's discharge that.
I didn't sign up.
What? I made him pucker. Alright. Sorry. Ooh. Where have I been holding? All the last one I checked. Okay. Then it resets the rocket count, which is good, because I was about to say I mean, not like Fortnite. Fortnite, the bullets get sucked up into the guns. I've noticed at least one clip's worth. So if you're carrying 2 guns, then it's really like you have that twice as much ammo, but... Oh no. Oh, whoops. Sorry, these things are really bad if you let them go too long. I notice that guy's still not shooting us. Oh, now he might. He's shooting into himself. Oh, whew. Ah. No, wrong one. Fire. Oh, I forgot about these ones. You gotta be careful because those bounce right back at you. For every finger you point at me, there's 3 pointing back at you.
You're nothing! Never stop the killing! Never!
What? There we go.
Angry! I'm angry!
Ah. Okay, so now let's oh. There we go. Whew. So you gotta shoot the fuse box. And then the cord goes there, and that's kind of like a throwback to tracing cords, trying to set up like home computers and stuff. Like for any kiddo that had to do that for their parents, because
Roland forcibly relocated me to Sanctuary for what he claimed was my safety. But the slackjaws who populate this city make my flesh scream. A young woman said hello to me today. I stared back at her, my mind screeching as I looked for a way to escape this unwanted interaction. As my face grew red with nauseous stress, a blood vessel popped in my nose and a jet of crimson shot out of my nostrils, splattering us both with blood. She screamed and ran away. As pleased as I was at the time, I fear causing fountains of blood to shoot from my face will not be a viable long-term strategy for avoiding conversation.
okay, sorry. So just a little backstory on that. There is another mission. Oh, and my controller is green lights. Ooh, sorry. As someone who grew up playing the NES, you know, I'm very impressed with like all this cool stuff. Now, kids today, and I sound pretty old. Kids today will never know the hardship, except they do, because my kids have been playing a regular NES knockoff with the old NES controllers, and like my son, one of the first things he says is like, "Man, these controllers kind of hurt." I'm like, "Yep, they were squares." Like, if you wanted controllers that fit your hand, you had to wait 20 years. Like, well, the Super Nintendo got better. They made them rounded controllers because they realized, they're like, oh, crud, like, you know, it could be better. And so then they had to, like, print, like, you know, make the machines be able to produce rounded controllers. And, oh, so yeah, it's good to understand, like, the design thoughts and stuff that went on behind the scenes. Okay, so we could either go all the way back over there to our car, or we could... Oh, where's the best one? Whee! Are we gonna clear it? Nope. Oh, yeah. There's no fall damage in this game, and that gets so much more fun. So you do that in the Fortnite, you're done. Like, you know, we wouldn't be walking away from that. But just like Fortnite, this one, you know, they digitally reconstruct you and you get sucked up into like this machine, or this machine just appears like it's no longer, or I don't know. We're still not to that point yet, but we're getting close. Like, you know, that's basically to say, as soon as we figure out how to do, like, what is that? Not Logan's Run, but the Blade Runner. We're like, they actually get sucked into the game. Well, we have VR, and the VR is getting better and better and better. Oh my gosh. I've only played a little VR, and I did get motion sick at the very end there. I mean, but I played it for a while until that happened, but I think it was because I was trying to do too much too fast. Alright, so let's finish this mission. Overlook is safe, except for that guy who died.
You know my favorite thing about Dave? He's dead.
And you know, that's the sad thing, is like you act like that, and you know, you put yourself before everyone else, and I mean, not to that degree, but granted, like that's just the kind of sentiment to people. It's like if you're more focused on the self versus those around you, and it's hard to say. Like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, totally about that, but also at the same time, this is a pretty good shield. Oh, and that's the episode. Wow, I ranted quite a bit there. We could call this a Borderlands musings, but we won't, because that adds more work.
And wishes her luck in choosing which one to keep.
So, true story, the Nazis used to do that to Jewish people. They would have them pick which kid they wanted to survive. It was very dark times, very, very dark times. Times did never be repeated because, same thing, those people were people that were doing that. So that's just how far the human condition to push someone to do something. Ugh. But I think enough people are aware of that, where it's like, it's not going to get to that point. But, well, because we're all on our guard. But that's why if you see someone who's sensitive about, you know, what they teach in schools, like, that's part of the reason. Especially people with Jewish heritage. I dated this beautiful girl, like my first love. She was half Jewish, like her mother's family was Jewish, and they married a very Christian family, and then together, it was like Voltron. They teamed up, and it was like the best of both worlds. Like you got the Christian values and the Jewish values, and you know, I don't know, it was really cool. They didn't really disagree with much. They just like respected each other and be like, okay, you're not some crazy cuckoo, you know, out there doing whatever. You're a respectable person. You're a human. Alright, anyways, enough of the ranting there. We really need to get some Borderlands. It's just been a really big day, and trust me, it's not all that. When the kids are around, it's fun games, you know, parks, pools, walks, all these open source intelligence. You know, just please don't. Alright, ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one.